Hello there, everyone, and welcome to episode 20 of the Marvel Mondays initiative here on the Penultimate Conquest. Today's topic is the season review of Loki. And what a hell of a ride it was. Am I right, guys?
Yeah.
I've already forgotten it.
Christian.
Au revoir, au revoir, Loki.
We're going to have to talk about your hatred for this.
That's
for
why
the
we're gonna. That's
TV
why we have
shows.
this episode.
Yeah.
I hope I never have to watch you again.
Oh, God. All right. Before we get into our discussion, we've got a little housekeeping. If you're watching on YouTube, consider dropping a like and a sub, and don't forget to hit the bell to get the notifications for all of our shows, like the Penultimate Game Show, the Cross Media Show, and Anime Nation. If you're watching on Twitch and you have Amazon Prime, you have Prime Gaming, which means you have one free sub to give out. You know, we'd love it if you give it to us, but
Here, give us your sub.
yeah,
Please.
If not, don't worry about it. That's cool. That's cool. For those of you who don't know who I am, my name is Ruben, the director of the Penultimate Conquest. Today, my co-hosts are the one, the only, Mr. Movie Reviewer himself, Christian Macias. Christian, how's it going?
It's a hot one today,
Oh yeah, it really
but
is.
you're even hotter.
Oh, thank you. Wow.
That was for the audience, but sure.
Oh. Okay, all right. I take my thank yous back then. Jeez. We also have Mr. Tom Hiddleston himself. Or is this a variant? Eric,
Hello.
how's it going?
Hello. I'm really pleased to be here. Very excited to discuss my show. Glad you liked it. But no, I'm not Tom Hiddleston. Yeah, I know. I think Tessa would love me more in that scenario. But no. Just, I don't look great today, and my room looks a mess. So you're going to be looking at Tom Hiddleston today, everyone, instead of me. So hey, Ruben,
What's up? How's it going?
how are you? It's good. The AC in my house is fixed now,
Thank God.
Good.
so I'm not sweating a
Good.
lot.
Good. It's good.
Before we
to
move on, since Eric just did that amazing impression of Tom Hiddleston for us just now, remember last week or 2 weeks ago, I suppose now, when I did the intro to our Black Widow episode entirely in this horrible Russian accent? Take me back, dude. Take me back to those days.
Take me back to 2 weeks ago.
Okay. Take me back to 2 weeks ago where I was anticipating this great season finale for Loki. Yeah. Absolutely.
Whoa.
But that's neither here nor there. Ladies and gentlemen, we have some stream and podcast updates. Tonight, I'm continuing my journey into what already is a shit show of a game. The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword. Zelda literally pushes you off of the world that you're on in the first 5 minutes.
I don't think that's Zelda.
It is
I've
Zelda.
never played Skyward Sword.
It is
Is
Zelda.
it Zelda?
It's Zelda.
It's
Zelda.
She pushes
It's
you
quirky
off.
though. It's cute.
No, she pushes you off the ledge and expects your bird. Like you tell her, like, "Oh shit, my bird isn't here. Like I don't know where my bird is," and she thinks you're lying, and she's like, "Oh, I got to go save you because you were probably not lying about your bird." But that's neither here nor there. We also have Tessa continuing her journey in Resident Evil 8, Resident Evil Village.
She may be doing that tomorrow.
Yes.
Because I know she's done with calculus.
Yep.
So she
I already
should be
spoke
good
to
for
her. She
stuff
said
now.
she's going to do that tomorrow at
Yep.
10 o'clock, I think, or 9 o'clock, whatever.
Late streaming. All right.
Yeah. We
Love it.
also have some shows happening this week. Cross Media Show is tackling. Hold on. Let me just pull it up. Hold on. Let me just pull it up right here. Our top 5 TV shows of all time.
Oh shit.
Wow, that is a hefty
Who was on
topic.
that,
That is-
on that episode?
That's a really good question. I don't know. I just thought of it today. So
Oh,
we'll see.
That's a
that's
great
good. That's
question.
fun.
Yeah.
Breaking Bad.
His number.
I don't know.
We'll find out. We'll find out.
Um,
Wednesday we also have the Penultimate Games Show, and the topic of discussion is going to be what games we're excited for the rest of this year, which I think we kind of already did, but that doesn't really count, because now we have a whole list and we have to figure out reviews and stuff. It's gonna be great.
Good list.
Yeah, it is a good list.
whoever made that list is handsome.
Yeah. and he's tall and he's muscular. he gets tons of Bumble matches anyway. Move on.
Okay. All right. This Sunday,
Sunday.
we are doing our 1 year anniversary stream. 12 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. 12 p.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Pacific. We will be doing giveaways. We will be doing game streams. We will be doing a shit ton of stuff, guys. So get locked and loaded.
9
Very
a.m.
s-
Pacific.
9 a.m. Pacific. My apologies.
Oh my god, I gotta teach you time zones again, Ruben.
It's just like, just get rid of daylight savings. We don't need this shitty contraption of time.
It's
Okay?
not just for daylight savings. You know how like sun like comes across the earth as
Mhm.
it rotates?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's gonna hit people at different times. So
No, I understand that, but daylight savings is what screws me up. Because
okay.
because if you think about it, Christian is only in the same time zone as Ryan for like a couple
Half the
months.
year.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
what the fuck is this? Like Arizona already outlawed it, so like just get fucking rid of it. We don't need it. Time is just a construct anyway.
I learned this year that there's a difference between PST and PDT.
Yeah, it's an hour difference.
And that has to do with like European time zones compared to ours. It's weird. Complicated.
Oh, I did
This
not know
stuff.
that at all.
You're gonna get stuff like this on Sunday where we just ramble about stupid
We're
stuff.
gonna have just a whole hour of time. We also might be doing a new show on Sunday, but we'll see about that.
Yeah, maybe,
Oh.
maybe I'll get drunk and like order pizza or something. I don't know.
Oh shit, that's not really crazy, but okay.
I'll get drunk.
We'll see about that. You have a future kid coming in. You know, you can't
Yeah.
be just
Future
getting,
kid coming in 3 months.
you
I
can't
better
just get
drunk.
drunk like that, okay, sir? You have
Actually,
responsibilities.
we are at the
now.
3 month now.
You
We
have
got 3 months until the due date.
good, good,
Entering the third trimester, is that correct? Is that how
Yeah.
that works? Wow,
Yeah.
that's cool stuff.
good. So, we have some Marvel news to discuss before we get into it. Marvel Studios is creating a mini studio to develop more animated projects. How do we feel about this, Christian?
Dude, I was having a conversation with my friend about this. Like, is this good or bad? And I can't really tell, honestly, because this came after the news of, I guess, like off the heels of Loki's final episode. And I was like, you know what? Maybe I am a little bit burnt out of Marvel TV shows. Do I want more? Not necessarily. I think the movies are where my interest lies. So to get this news, it's like, more content. But then like it leads to interesting concepts and like cool shows. Like we're getting What If, so I really can't complain. Like I'm down for it if they believe in their like creative endeavors. Like bring it on.
Okay. What about you, Eric?
I have always been of the mindset that animation is the best place to tell stories because you have limitless possibilities of what you can do. You're not confined by any physical space or anything, really. You can literally create whatever the hell you want. So I think this is cool, especially like a small little mini studio making some cool stuff. Don't even have to be long. Just make them like 5 minute episodes or something. Maybe
Ooh.
put it on a YouTube or something like that. Um, Marvel YouTube, put on Disney Plus, like little shorts and stuff like that. I think that could be really neat. But yeah,
Do, do
cool.
you
More Marvel stuff.
do you expect this to tie into the MCU, like What If, or do you want this to be its own
Um,
thing,
I could.
like the
Well, I mean,
Spider-Man series?
obviously it's gonna be MCU stuff if it's Marvel Studios. But I mean,
Oh, we don't know about that.
if Marvel Studios is hiring people to do it, but I mean, still, like you can have fun stuff. Like here's what happened on, here's a 5 minute thing of M'Baku, just a day in the life of M'Baku or
Break my
stuff like
back.
that. Yeah. So stuff like that could be really cool. Like you don't have to make them this big giant stories or anything. Just a fun little the day in the life of somebody. I think that could be fun. So
Okay.
yeah,
I
Alright.
agree.
and yeah, let more creative studio like obviously it's a Marvel show, but I'm really excited for the Star Wars anime stuff, like different
Yeah, it looks
visions.
good.
Do that with Marvel. I have a bunch of different creators just make a bunch of cool stuff. So
I just remembered. Oh, sorry, go ahead, Ruben.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
I just remembered something that Ruben said that reminded me that really soured my excitement for What If.
What's up?
I didn't know What If was gonna. I thought it was like isolated chapters. Each episode is like something like different, but
Is it
apparently
not?
they all tie together. Like it's a linear narrative. Like they're telling in between like throughout all the episodes, and that I guess it is tied to the MCU, like the overall narrative, and that kind of like I was excited for an exploration of like different things. I don't know.
See, that's where my interest lies. I don't want this tied to the MCU just because if it's not tied to the MCU, you could literally do whatever you want, you know? You could
I
finally
think. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut.
No,
I didn't
no,
mean
that's
to
okay.
interrupt.
You could finally have a universe where Spider-Man actually has Venom as a villain, you know? I'm looking
I don't
at
think
you,
they could
Sony.
legally do that. Probably.
Why not? Disney has the rights to uh, Spider-Man cartoons as long as they're not more than half an hour long, if I'm not mistaken.
This gets complicated.
Yeah, bunch of legality stuff. I think
They
hopefully just
they right now they have a show, the new Spider-Man show, which is literally my nephew was watching it
you're talking
and
about the 2017 Spider-Man.
I think so. The one with
With Drake Bell.
I think that might
It's
be it.
Robbie Draymond, I think, is Peter
Yeah,
Parker.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
They're literally going through a whole list of things that I wouldn't even think of. It's literally Into the Spider-Verse if it wasn't a movie.
Yeah.
Which
'Cause I know, I mean,
awesome.
the Ultimate Spider-Man did Spider-Verse stuff, but what I
Ultimate
was saying,
Spider-Man did do it, and it was
yeah,
perfect. But like,
I hopefully like the main overarching thing with the MCU is just the Watcher. Like
mhm.
that's it. Just have him look at
oh yeah.
stuff. Like I think that could be neat because obviously, Killmonger saving Tony is not going to be anything that actually happened. But it's, this is a cool thing. I've looked at all these universes just to see what happened after everything cracked, and so hopefully just Uatu, the Watcher. I hope it's just he looks at this like, all right, multiverse is happening. This is all the cool stuff, and not just like stuff within the episodes just carries over into the MCU. I don't want that. I
Right?
just want like Uatu just looking at all the branches. I think that could be neat.
Yeah. Basically, I would like What If to not be a part of the MCU, and I know it is, but I would rather the What
It's
Ifs.
minimalistic, yeah.
Yeah, but I would
Mm.
rather the What If series like cover a bunch of different Marvel universes, not just the MCU.
Right.
I mean, we're
Yeah.
gonna get Marvel zombies, so that'll be cool.
Right, but I would like it for it to be like, what if, Spider-Man? What if, I would want that each show
I,
to be
I
its
see.
specific.
I see what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Okay. Cool.
That's our next show, right? That comes out next month.
What
Yep.
if comes out in like 2 weeks? I think.
August 11th is the first day.
That is so soon.
Yep. The next Marvel news we have here: Peyton Reed finally confirms Ant-Man 3 has begun filming, and God, I can't wait just to see fucking Paul Rudd on screen again in that suit. Am I?
Him and Evangeline Lilly. Like I
Perfect.
like them together.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
perfect. Oh man, I have no words. Christian, what do we think
What-
about this?
I mean, you said it. I'm one of those people that really enjoyed Ant-Man and the Wasp.
I
Like
love it.
I wasn't expecting anything crazy out of that movie. Like I just wanted Paul Rudd having fun, and I got what I wanted. Quantumania like might be a bit more serious, and like that's probably a good thing. Yeah, I'm super stoked for it. Next year?
Yep.
Quantumania next year?
No, 2023. I think I could be wrong.
It's 2023.
What a fantastic name for a movie. Like every time I hear Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania, I get excited.
Yeah. I do think that, I did have problems with Ant-Man and the Wasp. Like, the villain wasn't as strong, but, like, the chemistry between the two, Evangeline Lilly and Paul Rudd, were just perfect. Eric, any thoughts on this?
I'm excited. I'm glad he has the bunny from Ant-Man in the first set photo. The ugly one he got for Cass. I thought that was a nice little touch. I hope it's more Ant-Man than Ant-Man and the Wasp because I preferred Ant-Man. I like that. I think that film is stronger than Ant-Man and the Wasp. I love Ant-Man and the Wasp. It's a fun time.
Yeah.
But I'm excited. Like I since we're talking about names, I'm so glad just I don't want to say content because it's so. I'm glad that we've gotten away from like this whole thing of naming things, or it'd be like Ant-Man 3 or something like that. So I'm
Right.
glad that we moved away and we're like Captain America, the Winter Soldier, Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantum Mania. Like Guardians of the Galaxy is fine because you have that volume right in front of it. So like
Right.
Volume 3. I like that. So yeah, it's a cool name. I'm really excited. I hope it gets really weird because Kang is going to be in this. So I hope it stays grounded because the important thing about that show I think is Paul Rudd, or excuse me, Scott and Cassie.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
think that's the crux of all the movies, and I know she's going to be I forget what her name is. She's going to have some type of powers, I think, in this
right.
movie.
Which brings me to my question: do we think that she's going to be essentially being trained like Hawkeye is doing with Kate Bishop?
Maybe. I mean, Paul Rudd doesn't age, so he can do this forever, so it's fine.
Okay. All right. So I'm saying, is she like already being trained, or is she gonna be like the introduction?
Maybe.
Okay.
Could be
Maybe
like an
she'll be a
off-screen
young
thing.
Avenger.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
Fuck.
Maybe she could be like,
The first one,
yeah.
the leader.
Because I was thinking like she could be. Well, wait, no, we already have Janet. We already have Hope. So, um, yeah.
Okay. Last Marvel news we have here is, according to a stunt double listing on IMDb, Brie Larson will make her third MCU appearance as Captain Marvel in 2 episodes of Miss Marvel. The show is confirmed to premiere this year. Is this really news? I thought we knew that.
This came out 20. I don't know. I saw a tweet from 20 hours ago about this.
Oh no, I'm thinking of the movie. Yes, the movie's gonna have Kamala Khan. The movie's
Yeah.
also gonna have Captain Marvel. Yes. Okay. Yeah.
Are you thinking
The-
of like the Marvels?
Yes. Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Yeah.
Cool.
This is the show.
I mean, let's hope Brie Larson brings her acting chops that she didn't bring.
When doesn't she?
Captain Marvel.
That was okay. That'll be a separate discussion when we get to the Captain Marvel.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think I hope hopefully for me, like Brie Larson, I know is super talented and stuff. I just hope that Captain Marvel was kind of like the Assassin's Creed 1, or like Assassin's Creed 2, or the Marvels, or whatever she's in. It's way better. Because I know she can do it. I mean, she's Brie Larson. She's won an Oscar. Obviously, she can act. I think maybe we'll get into that. The writing of that movie was not very solid, so maybe she couldn't shine that much well. But yeah, this is cool. It makes sense for her to show up in Miss Marvel. Like maybe at the end, maybe help her out with something. So
Yeah.
cool.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. All right. Here we are, ladies and gentlemen, discussing Loki season 1.
Am I gonna be the arbitrator for this right here, for you two?
No, I mean,
What does that mean?
yeah.
No, you're about like Christian. Obviously, you're not very fond of Loki season 1.
Well,
Ruben,
that's
you're very
okay.
fond of season 1.
Well,
I just
again,
wonder if-
not really fond of season 1. It's just like Kang. That
Gotcha.
made it for me.
I think Ruben is higher on the show than I am, right?
Which is weird because I was very low on the show to begin with. Like, I didn't expect to like this
opposite.
show. Yeah, exactly. I didn't expect to like this show once they... Like, I hate the intro. I hate the logo. God, it
Wait,
hates-
what? The logo, the intro slaps
Nah, I don't
with that
like it.
music.
I don't like it.
It's really good with
Deal,
especially with like the design of the like the Loki letters like switching. I think that's awesome.
It reminds me too much of X-Files. The music reminds me
Is that
too
a
much.
bad thing?
That's
No,
not
no,
a bad thing.
it's not a bad thing, but it feels like they're kind of ripping it off, Like in Kevin Feige, we trust, But
Did you just do the symbol?
I did it. No, I did it. I was reaching for my water. But yes.
What was the symbol?
The sign of the cross?
Oh,
I thought you did that after you said Feige we trust. I'm like,
No,
okay.
No. But what if we did?
Marvel.
Yeah. But yeah, I just
Instead of Amen, it's X-Men.
I like that. Christian, what's your gripes with the show?
Oh, where to begin, Ruben? Where to
So
begin?
let's go.
No, okay, I won't rant because I was thinking about this in the shower and I was
I
just like,
mean, you can
it was a
rant.
lot.
We haven't
No,
seen
no,
you for a
no,
while.
no.
I'm
It'll be.
excited. I'm excited to hear this. Like,
I don't want this to be like a me talking to you about like why I think it's bad. I want this to be like a discussion of here are the things that I didn't like, and maybe you guys read them differently, and we can come to some kind of like maybe I'll be higher in the show. I don't know. Anyway, what I don't like about Loki, okay, for me, and I tweeted about this, is that I didn't feel the show was as much of an isolated story as much as the previous two. So, like, whoa, Christian, what do you mean by that? Glad you asked. If you were to like condense the thesis of these shows, with WandaVision, it's about grief.
Yes.
With the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, it's about identity. What is Loki about? And I can't. Yes, perfect.
Loki is about becoming a better person.
Is it though? Because
Yeah.
Sylvie rejects that.
We're talking about Tom Hiddleston's Loki. Sylvie rejects it. You want to know why Sylvie rejects it? Because she has lived by herself in fear of being held hostage by the TVA and being pruned. But Loki, Tom Hiddleston's Loki, wants to be a better person after he's seen the shit show that is the rest of his life. He's seen that, and he wants to be a better person. So, the end of this show, it makes me realize, oh shit, he actually did change, and not like what he did in Thor Ragnarok. This
Right.
actually made me see change in him.
And this is good because I agree with you. But it's also something that we have already established before with Loki in just like a movie prior to this that we know that Loki has the propensities for change. What I thought was going to be interesting is that let's see Loki influencing another Loki to have this similar propensity for change. And that leads to another problem, which I think is like the feminist reading of Loki that I won't really get into because I haven't like studied that much about it. But like you get to the big problem is that Sylvie's like change stems from a person who's herself that is actually a man, right? So there's already issues there. But then she doesn't change. So then there's the question of is she a dynamic character? And then all this together, which is like a little bit messy. And like, granted, Sylvie and Tom Hiddleston's performance, what's her name? DiMartino.
Yeah, Sophie DiMartino.
Fantastic performances, like great charisma and relationships between the two. I absolutely love that. It's like the actual narrative, like their arc didn't satisfy me. Where was I going with this? Oh, all this to say that if you were to distill what Loki is about, I guess you would probably have to argue, aside from just change, which I agree with Ruben, is that it's about the multiverse, and that kind of gets away from where I would have loved to see the heart of the show lie, and which is tell an isolated story about characters and growth and change. And instead, it's like let's gear you up for the rest of the MCU slate of movies that are coming out, and that for that reason, this is why it ranks lower than the other shows.
Okay. Eric,
Grant.
do you have
Hi.
anything, do you have anything to add to this?
Like what Christian said, or like my own stuff.
What Christian said, your own stuff, whatever.
Okay.
I want to hear your own stuff.
I think like from the beginning of this, I was very high on the show because they said they had the mystery crime element to it, and I was like, oh, that's stuff I wanted to see. And of course, like the trailers had like the Doctor Who vibe. They're stepping through and going through different times and stuff. So I was really excited about this. And obviously having Tom Hiddleston back, like he's so charismatic and everything he does. I still stand by the fact that the first episode is my favorite single episode of any of the MCU TV shows so far, especially the conversation that Mobius has with Loki about what makes Loki tick and like you're born to make other people great. Why do you hurt people? Like I thought that whole thing was fantastic. And then the episodes 2 through 4 is when the show starts to kind of lose me a little bit.
Mhm.
Especially episode 3. which obviously I think it was important for them to have the episode where they show Loki and Sylvie like talking to one another, and I thought that was really important. But it did like the pacing with that was way off. Like you have like this, all right, we got to go find apocalypses, and like you have this big giant epic stuff, and they're in a hurricane, and then we switch, and then the planet's collapsing and dying, but let's talk about some stuff, and then they immediately hit it off. I'm like, okay, that's and what's I've talked about before. It's hard to tell this complete story that we're trying to do in 6 episodes. It's really tough. You got a lot to do in such a short amount of time, and I think the middle of this show, like I said, episodes 2 through 4, was really weak. Probably the weakest run of episodes throughout all the shows. Episode 5 was good. I liked all the other Lokis. Obviously, I like Richard E. Grant and everything he does. So he was great. Episode 6 really stuck the landing for me. I thought it was really good. Just like the whole conversation. I liked that the whole episode was just them talking. Like I know it was a vehicle for, like Christian said, it was a vehicle for the multiverse, but I did appreciate that it was like, look, you can believe me or not, the choice is yours. And so like we just sit here and we have like an intense sword fight between Loki and Sylvie, but it was mainly like, come on, you got to trust me. No, I don't trust you, and stuff like that. Stuff they've
Right.
been trying to fight the whole show. So I think this show was like a real roller coaster for me, where like I'm really high on the beginning and the ending of this show, but like the middle is just it was kind of weak.
I agree. Like I said before, I had no expectations for this show to reel me in until they brought up the multiverse stuff. Like, we all know my Spider-Man theory. I'm not gonna go into it. I'm just saying it brought me hope that the multiverse was introduced and we had a clear understanding of how the multiverse works. We have a clear understanding of why He Who Remains is there and what is happening after he gets killed. Like, it's not just like the multiverse isn't just happening just because shits and giggles. Like the multiverse, there was what's the words I'm looking for? There was an action, and now these are the consequences that we have to deal with.
Consequences.
As opposed to, oh shit, this is just, let's just put this in there for a movie, you know?
Mm.
Like, I'm very glad that the Doctor Strange, I was gonna say Doctor Who, Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness has this last episode of Loki just so they don't have to go into it even further. Like, make that movie longer and convoluted than it already is probably going to be. But that's just me.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I see what you're saying. I like the fact, kind of, you're kind of right there. It's fun that the whole multiverse stuff is starting because Sylvie wanted revenge on her
Mhm.
life. I thought that was really cool. It made it kind of really personal. Like she didn't really care about all the consequences of this. Like she wanted to kind of take control of her life back, and I thought that was really cool and neat for her. So yeah, we'll see where we go here.
We shall see.
But I do think Christian is kind of right. I got some stuff about self-love in this, kind of with Loki, like literally, like, kind of talking to himself or a variation of him. But yeah, Christian's right. There's no real identity for this show.
Yeah.
It was a fun ride. I enjoyed the ride. It was cool to do. But yeah, it definitely was a vehicle for multiverse stuff. So, and that's not. I'm not putting down on that. I enjoyed
Mm.
it, but yeah, Christian is right.
Yeah, and this it's not to say that it's not there because I certainly think it is there. It's just harder to kind of tease out. It's not as easily identifiable as the other shows,
Yeah.
right? But that said, Ruben brought up Kang, or I guess a variant of Kang, he who remains. Like Jonathan Majors aside, because God, I love Jonathan Majors. Let's continue the campaign to make him the next Kal-El, please. I don't know. Aside from being a great performance, I was not intimidated by the possibility of like, oh my God, King the Conqueror is coming. I just didn't feel that same level of threat that I did with like the tension that was there and the fear of God when like Thanos is coming. I did not feel that at all, and like that just left me with like, okay, well, Loki season 2 is coming.
For me, I didn't feel fear or like the intensity that Thanos brought. Felt like, holy shit, like the words that are coming out of his mouth are insane. Like, he looks crazy. Like, he's talking about a multiversal war against himself, like, but all these not variants, all these variants of himself, and like he had to kill a bunch of himself in order to preserve his timeline, which for a guy that thinks about like time travel a lot and also like aliens and all that mumbo jumbo, like this was like cocaine to me. Like all this stuff that he was talking, I'm like, yes, let's do it, man, let's freaking do it. So I guess it all depends on what you're looking for the MCU. Like Christian,
That's true.
yeah. So me, I'm looking for, yes, I do want character growth for all the characters, but I also want like crazy fucking time travel shit and multi-dimensional wars.
Because that stuff is cool, right? Like it's just generally cool.
Yeah.
It makes me feel like a kid watching cartoons and stuff. Like
Yeah.
I want to disagree with you there. My issue is just like when we start getting away from these like isolated stories and I guess like less identifiable themes and kind of like weird pacing.
Right.
It's like in service of like the overarching plot, then it's like, all right, Marvel, come on, like you're losing me.
I do agree that I would have preferred this show to be the crime drama that we were. Yes, if it was just a crime drama of like Loki catching other Lokis or the biggest baddest Loki, that would have been cool. But
I don't, that's weird. Eric didn't like episode 2. I think that was my favorite episode of the show.
I thought that was way too early. I would have preferred that to be episode 5. But then episode 3 was like such a letdown.
I just like seeing Mobius and Loki work together.
Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. I would have liked that to be more like more True Detective than what we got.
Sure.
Because I don't think the show, like that first episode is so, because you have no idea what the hell's going on. You got Tara Strong telling us about the multiversal war through like a Jurassic Park video, which was weird. It's weird, and I'm like, what? And then you had the episode 1, like, how do I know if I'm a robot or not? It's like, oh my god, what's happening right now? This is strange. And so I don't think that show ever got back to that strangeness.
Yeah.
I think it because like, I think you're right there. Having maybe them chase Sylvie throughout the whole season. At the end, she reveals stuff like that. I thought that would have been neater in service to the show because, but yeah, it's just we have to get to the end is what I felt like this whole time. There were fun stops along the way.
I'm so glad you said this. I was reading, I forget where it was. I think it was some kind of article someone shared about Marvel, like the way they go about like getting directors and stuff.
Yeah.
And this was specifically about Black Widow, but I'm sure it applies to some degree here to Loki. Is that like Feige or like the studio heads will already have like an idea or like a climax ready to go before the like movie or show is even written. This is the case with Black Widow, like I said. Like they already knew what the final fight sequence was going to look like, and that's I'm referring to like Black Widow falling down with Taskmaster. And so the directors have a hard time having to write around that or to get to that point, which is why sometimes movies suffer, where it's like, oh, we just got to the end and like here's this big climax. Like I'm wondering how much not Catherine Hahn. Do you remember Karen Hahn? Maybe.
No.
Kate Herron,
No.
I think is her name.
Yeah, I'm wondering how much trouble she maybe had in trying to write Loki. If she was trying to get to like X point about Kang, I don't know.
She did say, one, she's not coming back for season 2, and also that she did not collaborate with any other directors on the story. So I think she just I don't know how to put this. I guess she just did her own thing.
Right, but the studio, she's not working with other directors, but the studio, I'm sure, was like, all right, you need to get to this point to introduce the multiverse.
Right, which I think anything before that is completely up to you. You know?
Mm. Yeah, there's probably more freedom with TV shows than films, I'm sure.
Right. What do we think?
Um,
I don't know.
I like how like James Gunn. I do like how James Gunn, like he kind of had control over the Guardians. So whenever like Infinity War and stuff, he was there. Like, hey, this is what they would do in this scenario. Um, I thought it would have been cool to maybe Loki going forward. Kate Herron would be there to be like, hey, this is what Loki would kind of do in this scenario. But, yeah, it's just the problem. Even though we love Marvel, I mean, they are a studio. They're going to be run by studio heads like Kevin Feige. It's great. He's brought us a lot of fun, good stuff over the years. But at the end of the day, they're still a studio.
Right.
So you wonder how much studio influence this had over this show. And but the most interesting thing about it is we have a season 2.
Yeah.
So
oh, I no.
I think that's interesting because while the other ones were kind of, this is it. Like, I don't think we're going to be getting, we're not going to be getting another WandaVision. We're not going to be getting another Falcon and Winter Soldier. I think that's what's interesting about it. It's like, where do we go from here? So if that's how these characters live, Loki and Sylvie through this TV show, I'm fine with that. Like, we'll have to see. It's just speculation at this point. We have no idea what's going to happen.
Well, I will say, I fucking called it, guys.
What'd you call?
Loki was gonna get backstabbed by Sylvie, and it wasn't the big bad. An older Loki didn't get backstabbed by Sylvie. No, but however, I do think that season 2. Let's talk about season 2. What are our expectations for season 2? Where do we think the story is going to go for there? For me, I think, the first episode, Loki's going to try to get back to his own TVA, and him and Mobius are going to restructure the TVA and let everybody know, yeah, you're a variant. Like, if you want to go home, that's cool, but some shit's going to have to go down. We're going to have to prune either you or the other guy. So we'll see about that. Or, after they get into all that nitty gritty stuff, they're going to start hunting again Sylvie to see, like, the fuck did you do this for? Like, you made this mess, you have to fix it. Help us fix it.
I think you're onto something with the second part, because I think Loki didn't just set up Ant-Man, but it probably also set up events for Doctor Strange and Multiverse of Madness.
Yep.
Which I think Tom Hiddleston might be in. Is that correct?
That we don't know. Like,
yeah,
I was telling Eric last week. I've been seeing a bunch of fan posters of Doctor Strange, Wanda, and Loki.
Yeah.
Together, kicking ass and taking names in the Multiverse of Madness. So,
yeah, if Loki is in a response to the events that happen in Ant-Man and or Doctor Strange, then it'll for sure be dealing with Sylvie on the run, maybe even like causing chaos and like continuing to exacerbate some kind of other dimension, universe, whatever, having to like deal with those consequences. I would love like a season focused on Sylvie. Like I love like that character is really interesting to me, and I think she deserves more like fleshed out screen time and more of a narrative. I mean, it's hard to do when Tom Hiddleston is like so good at what he does. So
right,
yeah, I don't know.
Eric, thoughts?
You kind of like how I want the show to start is definitely he's in this new timeline. He's trying to get back. And I don't know. I think I honestly don't know. I'm kind of speechless here. I don't know how season 2 is going to go because you have all this other stuff coming along. I don't know when we're going to get when season 2 is going to happen. When does it fall? Does it fall, next year after we have Multiverse of Madness and all that stuff? Does it fall in 2023 after Guardians 3? Who knows? So I will say this. I agree with Christian. I hope there is a centralized focus on season 2, rather than just being a puzzle piece. I hope it is its own thing, because that's what kind of makes WandaVision so special. Like, it was its own thing. Like, obvious, what the important thing about WandaVision was Wanda figured out who she was, and that's the important thing. Like, going forward, that's the ties to the MCU right there. That's how
Mhm.
Wanda is where she's at right now. And like Sam is Cap now, so that's the tie to the MCU. And so I think the problem was we saw the end of Loki's arc, kind of, in Infinity War. He's dead, so now it's like we have a new Loki we have to follow. So we have no idea where that's going to go. And so I'm kind of rambling on at this point, but I hope it's neat. I hope it has an identity. That's all I ask. And be cool. And more Owen Wilson. More Owen Wilson, please.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I also want to. My thoughts are going to be like Sylvie is the main Loki. I know I said, my previous theory was that Tom Hiddleston's Loki was going to die, but I'm going to update that. Tom Hiddleston is going to become the head of the TVA with Mobius, and he's just going to stay as part of the TVA. Like anything that has to do with time travel that fucks up the sacred timeline, you'll see him pop up instead of just anything big picture like Doctor Strange fucking up a timeline. He's gonna be visited by Loki, but I think Sylvie is going to become the main Loki, up to her sinister tricks, her mischief shit, and
So you hope
stuff.
Tom Hiddleston stays pretty low key in the rest of the
Oh
MCU.
my god.
Yes, yes, I
It's
do.
official. I have made a Google Doc titled Ruben's Predictions, and I can't wait to prove all of these are
I can't
wrong.
wait
I
to
also
add
think. I also wait.
thumbs
Wait.
up and get some money.
Hold on. I also think we will see Loki, Tom Hiddleston's Loki, in Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania.
Oh, like an expert on Kang.
Just them dealing with the TVA.
Okay.
In Ant-Man. Let's do Ant-Man 3.
Okay.
Okay. You want to hear a hot take?
Yeah.
I don't think any of the MCU shows have been as good as The Mandalorian. And The Mandalorian is just like basic
Wow.
good.
Wow.
Mm.
Really,
Give
it's
me a
weird
sec.
because
Give me a sec.
you were so high on WandaVision.
Falcon Winter Soldier. Like maybe that might be the exception. Like I really like that show. It is so good.
Huh. I don't know. I think you sounded pretty high on WandaVision up until the end there, where
I
you liked that they were going into her grief.
Eric's got to say something.
Go ahead.
He's got some thoughts. I could feel it.
I think he's all right. He has a point here. Let me get to this. I would take WandaVision over Mando season 1. I I think
Sure.
for me personally, I think WandaVision and Mando season 2 are pretty neck and neck for me. Um but the problem is the last episode of WandaVision only has really good parts, but the whole thing is not great.
Right.
Whereas
Oh
Mando
no.
season 2 is just exceptional all the way through.
I think
Discourse.
Mando's season 2 finale ranks up with Loki's season 1 finale.
You're shitting
Mando
me.
season 2 finale is
Is
uh
pretty fucking hype, and this also gives me so much hype.
Mando season 2 finale is, oh my god, is probably the best Disney Plus episode of any Disney Plus show so far. Mando season 2 finale.
I don't know.
Like
I'm just putting it out
I
there.
I
Dude.
I think I vibed so much, obviously, with WandaVision's just telling of the story through obviously paying homage to television history. I thought that was really good, and just Paul Bettany and Elizabeth Olsen. But he's right. I would take Mando's season 2 by a hair
Oh.
over the MCU show so far.
One of my favorite things about Eric is how ride or die he is for WandaVision. Like,
I
I love
love
it.
WandaVision. It's
Yeah.
so
It's
good.
so
Like
good.
it's still my favorite MCU show by a country mile. So
And that's only
it's
because
just
of Vishan.
Bashan!
you can't see it right now, but I'm doing the Vishan pose. No, I thought it was really good. Just like the story of grief, and it was nice to have badass women lead in MCU, and it's great. Falcon Winter Soldier was great up until the season finale when it just went off the
Drop the
rails for me,
ball.
and
Yeah.
man, if it ended at like season 5 and like it ends with him being Captain America and all the other stuff, like him saving the day, not hey, let's throw Bucky out the window here. I think Falcon Winter Soldier has a strong case for me,
Yeah.
but yeah, Mando season 2 by a hair over all the MCU shows.
Okay.
I am this close to posting a picture of Cholo Loki on main right now. I'm this close.
Do we expect to see Sylvie in Thor: Love and Thunder?
No,
No.
No. Do we
Nope.
expect
No.
to see Loki in Thor: Love and Thunder?
No.
nope.
Okay.
I think Loki is going to be on MCU TV now. Like that's where he's going to be, like in the shadows. I think Loki is done with the movies. He may pop up in Doctor Strange. I think that's about it. I think Loki can shine in the TV shows
But why don't you think that Sylvie's going to be popping up in Thor: Love and Thunder?
because like that's already a big story right there. We got Jane Foster being the mighty Thor. Like there's already a bunch there to deal with. Like we have no idea what place Thor is going to be in throughout all this. Um, and especially you also have the Guardians in that. That's way too much to throw Sylvie in there too.
Not even as a post-credit scene where they
I
meet.
think it could be cool. See, you do this now. I'm thinking it'd be cool to like have to have Tom Hiddleston show up in Thor: Love and Thunder and kind of like surprise Chris Hemsworth. But that'd be too much to be like brother. But I think
That's too much. We watched him die on screen
Yeah.
last
that's what,
time.
that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. That's what like that may I don't know. Now Ruben's got me all hyped up and stuff, just thinking about all these things.
Just
I don't
listen
want-
to this.
I don't want him in it.
Listen to this. Listen to this.
Oh.
Post-credit scene. Let's set the scene.
Okay.
Chris Hemsworth is still Thor. We
He's
we
okay.
see wait we see one of those TVA doors pop up, right?
Uh-huh.
Sylvie walks out and she says, "Your brother's alive." Boom.
I think that'd be too much for Thor. He's been through so much.
So then that would make Thor would be in Loki season 2 by your
No,
logic.
no,
Why would then what would be the point?
because I just for shits and giggles. Also, I don't think you could put a TV show in between Loki season 1 and Thor: Love and Thunder. She's working for Kang now.
Who is?
Sylvie at the end of season 2. Oh my god, guys! Like, I'm fucking
What did
giving
you
out
say?
gold.
I'll write it down.
Giving out gold.
Hold on, let me look. How old is Chris Hemsworth?
The time between Loki
Like
season
33, 34?
Is he really?
He is 37. He will be 38 next month. So he's probably not going to be doing Thor for
Really?
This
Because
is
we also
fast
said I don't think so. I think he's in it for the long run. Because he also said, "I'll be in as many Marvel movies as you want," just like Tom Hiddleston.
But like then you run to like a Hugh Jackman thing where it's like he cannot keep trying to look
Yeah.
like Wolverine anymore.
Yeah, but he's
And have
Australian.
you seen how
so it's
big
fine.
Thor looks in this?
He's Australian. It's fine.
We'll get like 5 more Thor appearances.
Like I think it's time that we start venturing to the new MCU.
How old is Natalie Portman?
In her 40s. I think she just turned 40.
Yeah.
So, what do you expect What do you expect to
year.
happen in Thor: Love and Thunder?
I'm not expecting her to be, the Thor in the MCU going forward, but I expect her to be part of it. Like she's not going to be I don't think she's going to be like when the Avengers team up. I don't think she's going to show up. I think she's just going to exist in here.
Yeah, Kate
Um,
Blanchett didn't need to be buffed to be strong. Neither does Natalie Portman.
Yeah.
Right.
So, it's just we'll see how it goes. This is why this is so fun. Like we've had the MCU so far through the Infinity Saga, we kind of had an idea where things are going to go. I have no idea where this shit's going to go
It's great.
at all, and that's what makes it so interesting.
Yeah.
Like Shang-Chi, I have
Woo!
no idea what the fuck they're going to do with that. Like that's what's so interesting about it. Just because you know how awesome this movie is going to be and how awesome it's going to I think it's going to have the wonderful good amount of representation like Black Panther did for, you know, movies going forward. This is what this movie is going to do going forward for Asian community. And I think that's great. And so I have no idea what's going to happen. I have no idea what, like, does this take place before Infinity War? Are we still in
Before.
like a multiverse thing? I have no idea. Like, and after it, what's he going to do? Is he going to have the 10 rings going forward? I just have no idea.
We'll find out.
But where's my damn Spider-Man trailer?
It's
It ain't
never
happening
happening.
soon.
I'm telling you, Christian, I don't know if you were here for that episode, but it's gonna happen for Venom 2, Let There Be Carnage.
When does that movie come out? Like, that's October. That's way too late,
That's
dude.
September. If I
It's late September.
24th. Like
That's
you're gonna
way
tell
too
me
late.
I think, listen,
major motion picture.
I think, yes, because that's the only way people are gonna go see this movie.
People are gonna go see Venom, dude. Do you know how
Oh.
much money
You
Venom
thi-
made?
No. Yeah, but like,
It's Venom. People
have
will
you
go
seen
see
that
it.
trailer?
Yeah. Did you see the trailer for the first one? People still went out in droves.
Oh,
Venom is a very popular character, man.
It is, but it's just not a very good movie.
That doesn't mean shit, man.
It does. Anyway,
Do you think they made
Christian-
Venom 2 just because it was received
Christian?
terribly?
I think this is going to be a Tenet trailer situation where the only way you could see this trailer is if you go watch Venom, Let There Be Carnage.
That's an IMAX thing. That's not a movie thing that they do.
Oh.
Like they showed
do
Dune, the
this.
Dune teaser with the Tenet IMAX showing, but not for Tenet showings that are like regular
Oh,
screenings.
fuck. I saw that in Dolby and I
Yeah.
didn't see Dune.
I got my Jurassic new Jurassic World before F9, so
Which apparently was too long, from what I heard.
it was like 9 minutes. I mean, it was just dinosaurs. It could have been
Oh,
20
it's not
minutes.
that long.
9 minutes.
Yeah, that's what pretty much all the IMAXs. I remember like before, was it Man of Steel? I got the Star Trek Into Darkness thing, I think it was, or something. I saw Trek Into Darkness before something, and that was like a 9-minute thing.
I haven't seen an IMAX movie in so long.
Dude, IMAX is where it's at.
They do it.
No, Dolby Vision. Dolby Atmos is where it's at.
Dolby Atmos is good for a second viewing. But
Really?
IMAX for the first viewing is
Interesting.
yeah.
Okay. All right. I'm going to take
See
your
all
word
the
on that
movies in
because
IMAX.
you watch
I only
movies.
say that because they do. The IMAX has a lot of like exclusive deals for like different trailers, and then you get like obviously more screen for like movies that are shot in IMAX. So it's cool to see that for the first time, and then get the audio experience for the second time.
Okay.
You're gonna
IMO.
want to see Eternals in IMAX because it was shot with IMAX in mind.
Okay. Now I know.
Mhm.
Now I know. I didn't know that. I thought Atmos was the place to be.
Yeah, for good sound. For great sound.
Well, no, like the perfect experience, you know. But I guess I was wrong.
Yeah, IMAX is great.
I guess
How I
was
saw the Escape Room 2 trailer for the first time through IMAX.
With that
You heard me.
being said, where do we think Ravonna goes? The character that got fucked by this story the most. Where do we think she goes?
She's gonna go find free will.
Who is this character? I don't even.
She's
Ravonna was the
judge.
other agent, correct?
Yeah.
Oh, the judge.
Yeah. Where she
The one that was
like-
also a teacher, and that we
Yeah,
didn't
yeah.
get the explanation for.
Yes.
What are you doing in my office?
Yeah.
Bro, now I'm even more pissed off.
Where do you think she's going,
Man,
Eric?
Christian is exactly how I felt about the season finale of Falcon Winter Soldier. It's just like right now, it's exactly how I felt.
It's annoying, dude. The TV form. This is very much a TV show.
Eric, where do we think
Yes.
she went to go?
She went off and did who knows what. I don't really care.
Oh, you don't care at all.
Maybe she's
Okay.
gonna go deal with Kang because her comic character has stuff with Kang, and we'll see how it goes. I don't really. She was the least interesting part of the show for me. It was just, man, I'm the judge. Man. That's all I got from her. So cool. We'll see where it goes.
Okay. Christian? You don't care.
Dude, I mean, I don't care either. Honestly, like
Okay.
her subplot was like very. It just came out of nowhere, out of left field. It wasn't set up like in a good way that I found like resonant or like for me to be like emotionally involved with somehow. It was just there, and I was like, okay, this is the thing we're doing. Sure, I guess I'll see more of this in season 2. Have to stay tuned to the content. Ah.
You want to write this down because I got another thing for you.
Oh no.
Why do you have a prediction for this?
Well, it ties into the whole prediction for Kang. I think she went to go help out Kang. And I think,
That's what I just said.
well, let me fucking finish. I think, you know how He Who Remains said, like, this is just going to happen all over again. I think that's where he's wrong. She's going to be the one thing that fucks up the whole thing. And Kang is the one who reigns supreme.
So what is the prediction here again?
I think that He Who Remains is wrong, and it's not going to turn out the way that he says it is going to turn out, where it's just going to repeat itself.
That is not a prediction. I'm sorry. That's not a prediction.
I think she's going to be the one outlier. Not outlier. What's the word I'm looking for? The one where that fucks up the whole thing.
Really? That character is gonna fuck up everything?
Yeah, I think she's going to help Kang the Conqueror. Okay, all right. Let's just continue. Let's move
Yeah,
on.
because I say that's what I just said. She's gonna go help out King. the
Yeah, but
Conqueror.
again, I'm adding to it. I'm thinking like it's not gonna become the whole thing all over again, but that's okay. Don't worry about it.
What
I'm with you for
what-
both of these. Like they're fun to hear you, and then this one I just couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. I
I
deleted
think-
it.
That's fair.
I
that's
think
fair.
there's nothing wrong. I forgot to mention this earlier. I don't think, like TV, there's nothing wrong with the cliffhanger. So the fact that the show ends with the cliffhanger, I don't think there's anything specifically wrong about it. But like going back into what Christian said, like, it'd been nice if the show had some form of identity. Like
Mhm.
this show was just a plot. It's just a plot cliffhanger, something like that. Had and we're in a new situation right now. I like cliffhangers. I think they're cool. They keep you interested going on. I assure you, probably Loki season 2 premiere is probably going to be the most watched premiere that week or something because people are going to be interested. People like Loki. That's probably why we have a season 2 of this. Like Loki is arguably probably right under the big 3 as the most popular MCU character. So,
Mhm.
yeah, we'll see how it goes.
Okay.
Yeah, because like for WandaVision, for example, that post credits sequence is entirely a cliffhanger, and that
Yeah.
is a setup for another movie. But that isn't like it doesn't. That's like the cherry on top. Whereas like the actual show is the whole dessert. I don't know. This analogy is getting
Yeah.
away from me, but you know what I'm saying.
I get what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Do you have anything else before we close out the show?
Me?
Anybody?
Yeah,
Oh,
I have one
Go
last
ahead,
thing.
Christian. Yeah.
Yeah. I sad to announce, and I think I tweeted this out last week as well. I just don't care for the Marvel TV shows. I said it.
Okay.
I had been feeling it for a while, and you know what? They're not as good as the movies. I'm sorry.
All right.
Oh yeah, there's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
I think TV shows are where these characters can shine, though, for some of them, especially with the week-to-week basis. Like it was really nice to see Sam week to week deal with all the struggle, everything going on. And like WandaVision week to week, it was fun. So it was fun tuning and watching. It was water cooler time. It was fun to have that. I think that's where it shined the most. It's like, hey, did you what the hell is happening? And we have our weekly, you know, what do you think is going to happen? What do you think is going to happen? And so I think TV is an excellent format, but I do agree with Christian. Films, I think, are where my loyalties lie in anything really. I much prefer films. So I'm glad I'm glad that TV shows exist because they are getting, people are getting work first off.
Yes.
People are getting to tell cool stories. We probably wouldn't have been able to get these stories in a film, so I think that's neat. And look, now people are getting super popular. Elizabeth Olsen. People want Elizabeth Olsen now because they said, "Hey, look, this TV show, she could do it." Anthony Mackie has now become, a worldwide superstar. Rightly so. Like Falcon Winter Soldier did a lot of things for a lot of people, and I think like we talked about earlier, how if we rank these shows, I think it's impossible to, because they both serve different purposes. And so I completely agree with you, Christian. I think your opinion is valid there. I can see why the TV shows would be cumbersome. Cumbersome, probably not the right word there, but I can see why they'd be a bit of a letdown when it comes to the films.
I
So
still can't believe Don Cheadle got an Emmy nomination.
wild is wild.
I have one more question. I'm sorry, Eric. Did I cut you off? Did you have
Oh no, I
anything
was
else?
just gonna say, are we gonna rank the 3 shows? Our personal ranking of the 3 shows?
No, we're not gonna rank it. We all know what's
Okay.
on top. WandaVision, baby.
You know what? Even though I would have the argument ready to go for Falcon Winter Soldier, I already know yeah. You guys would say WandaVision, and that's okay.
I think WandaVision's story. I'm not gonna get too deep into this. I think WandaVision's story was a better story than what we saw, like the clusterfuck that was Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Uh,
That storyline with the there was way too many things happening in that storyline for it to just be 6 episodes.
yeah.
So
But like so we've also talked about COVID played a big part in that.
No, but it didn't.
Right.
Probably, but
No, it didn't. Kevin Feige
I
said
mean, it did, didn't it?
no. Kevin Feige said there was only one thing that they changed, and it wasn't the whole part of the story. I think he said it was just the finale that there was one thing that they changed.
I thought there was supposed to be like a plague sub story.
No, he
within
said
the
that
whole
was
show.
false.
Okay, either way. I mean, I love Falcon and Winter Soldier. I'm just really sad how they just threw Bucky out of the way. So, but that was just my problems with it. So,
Who's the villain of this story?
of this story,
Of Loki? Is it the TVA or is it?
There's so many. I mean, you could make the argument for like Sylvie's like quest for revenge. It ends up being, I guess, a villain. Say Kang is a villain because he was there the whole time. The TVA is a villain.
Okay.
so we'll see.
All
Don't
right.
know.
This
Okay.
is what I'm saying. It's not clear.
Okay. All right. Fine. God. All right, guys. So let's do some plugs. What?
Actually, I want to hear Eric's personal rankings of the show. I don't think I've heard them.
They would
shows.
go. So here's the thing.
Wanda and Tom.
WandaVision's number 1. Because the problem I run into is like I love Falcon and Winter Soldier up until the finale, but the first episode of Loki is my favorite MCU episode they've done. And episode 6 was really good. Okay, I would have to probably, now that I thought about it, in this 5 seconds. WandaVision, then I will go Falcon Winter Soldier, then Loki. Even though I think Loki has better highs for me personally than Falcon and Winter Soldier. I think Falcon and Winter Soldier was a better show week to week.
Okay. Just to butt in here, I have here from CBR.com. Marvel's Kevin Feige says the pandemic only twisted one Phase 4 element, which was Julia Louis-Dreyfus's character.
Ba-doom, ba-doom, ba-doom.
That's it.
I'm glad that she introduced in Falcon Winter Soldier and not Black Widow, because that would have been weird.
I actually really enjoyed that as well.
Yes, I
Because after like that whole episode that we dealt with her character in Falcon Winter Soldier and Black Widow, I was like, oh, this makes sense that she would be acting this way. Rather, we have this super intense moment, and then this goofy person comes in and does this stuff. So I'm glad.
Yeah. All right, let's close out the show. Let's do some plugs. Christian, where can people find you?
You can follow me at ISOChristian for I'm making my stream return this week.
Yeah.
Replaying Metal Gear Solid 1 for the first time since I was a kid. I remember nothing about it except for Psycho Mantis. So that'll be fun to re-experience for the first time. I also do a movie podcast called Large Popcorn. I just did an episode with Emmett Watkins Jr., which is really good. We finally did the first rom-com of the podcast, which is a great time. And we got Cam Hawkins coming on the show next week to talk about Toy Story and why it's...
I knew it.
Yeah, I know. He's like, let's do a Pixar movie. I was like, let's do Toy Story. I know you like it. We're also doing the Green Knight review this week, so that'll be a good time.
Didn't we do Toy Story?
No, you did Tron.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah. Okay, sorry, my apologies. I was thinking I did it.
Wow.
I did it with Griffin.
With Griffin, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I was gonna say, wow. You also have a guest host appearance on one podcast. What's that happening? What's going on there?
I do?
Yeah, aren't you
This man's
guest
got so
hosting?
many irons
Aren't
in
you
the
guest
fire. He
hosting
doesn't know what's
PXN?
going on.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm one of the co-hosts on Podcast PXN. It's my first time like officially hosting the show for the first time since I started. So yeah, this week I'll be. Thank you for reminding me. Yeah, I'm hosting PXN live on Wednesday at
Yeah.
5 p.m. Pacific. Yeah, we'll be talking about the latest and greatest video game news.
Okay, cool. Eric, where could we find you?
Hi, you can find me at Eric Seekin on Twitter. I have been churning through some PS5 games, my friends.
Oh
I've
yeah.
really my video game love has come back. So
Listen, just
starting
take,
up Ratchet tonight here in like an hour, so I'm very excited for that. So no, it's fun. I am. What was I going to say? The Olympics are going on right now, so yay, sports. I like sports. U.S. basketball looking trash over there.
Speaking of the U.S., man, semifinals, Gold Cup, USA baby. Let's beat Qatar.
Let's go.
okay. This man brings up the Olympics for
For
plug.
no reason.
For a plug, but okay.
I like
All right.
sports, man.
Okay.
Just go watch the Olympics. Go support your country. It's whatever it is, man.
What can you plug? Oh, I'm playing PS5 and I'm watching the Olympics.
Okay, all right, cool. I'm gonna be completely blunt with you. I don't care for the Olympics.
You'll care when it comes to Los Angeles in 2028.
No, why would I care?
This will be on home soil, man.
Why would I care?
Just sports.
I don't live in LA.
Ruben, when the World Cup comes to the United States and they inevitably do a game on the East Coast, I'll go and we'll watch a game together.
Sure.
All right, fine. I'll go by myself.
No, I'll go. I said sure. That's not a problem. But it's just like
I'm gonna get my sports show
how
on
much
this
are those
channel
tickets?
sooner or
though?
later.
How much are those
Ruben.
tickets though?
For the World Cup, you
Yeah.
better just start saving now.
I mean, Christian, you invited me, so I guess you're paying for these tickets, or
Yeah,
I
you
can
put them up for
listen.
room and
I got
board.
gas.
We'll come
I
up with a payment plan.
Okay, I can drive. That's all I'm saying.
I gotta fly there.
No, I'm saying I can drive us both to the game.
Oh yeah, you got room and board, Ruben. There's no way out of this one.
Well, I don't
Yeah.
know about room and board. I live at home
I'm
with my
staying for
parents.
free.
I don't know about that.
Oh, hello, Mr. and Mrs. Ruben.
Mr.
Hola.
and Mrs. Ruben.
What's up, Ruben?
Okay.
I don't want
alright.
to. I don't want to dox your last name. I guess we say it on the show. Guerrero.
Yeah, we do. Ladies and gentlemen, you can find me here in about an hour playing Skyward Sword. I'm not calling this a Legend of Zelda game because Skyward Sword, you know? You can find me here this whole week doing podcasts, doing stuff, and Sunday. 1 year anniversary. Come on, let's get it. Guys, I have one last question for you. Is He Who Remains just a variant of Mephisto?